One of the biggest frustrations that a lot of home sellers face in this real estate market is the fact that they only have control over two of the factors when it comes to selling a house. Those two factors are obviously the price point and the condition of the house. The location, the floor plan, interest rates, your competition, the number of buyers that are out there. None of that do we really have any control over, and sometimes it gets a little bit frustrating because as a buyer, we can just essentially muscle our way through it. We can try harder, we can look at more houses, we can change the criteria, we can get more aggressive on the price point. There's a lot more factors in that equation than there are for a seller. One of the tools though that I've seen a lot of success with and I really love is called a reverse offer. I've been blessed to sell a lot of previously marketed houses, and hands down one of the biggest frustrations that I hear about are the agents don't feel that, the homeowners don't feel like the agents are doing enough to sell the property. You get that second or third showing, and as a homeowner, the agent might call up and say, hey, is there anything we can do? Do they like it? Do they not like it? Can I help? And the buyer's agent says, well, I don't know, they're looking at other properties. Because fortunately, a lot of buyer's agents now can be taxi cab drivers. They just take buyers through enough houses till they find one and then that's it. So the reverse offer gives the seller a good, legitimate tool to help initiate that process. Indiana state licensing law requires that all offers be presented regardless of how crummy they are. They have to be presented by law. So what we do is, if we get a buyer that comes in and look at the house, it typically is only really effective on a second or third showing where you've got some decent interest but not enough to really push them over the edge. The reverse offer does that trick. So me as an agent, what I do is I call the buyer's agent. I find out, are they using FHA, conventional? Do they have any restrictions on closing date? Do they need help with closing costs? What is their availability for possession? Get all this information, and then what we do is, as a seller, we write an offer. But instead of it being signed by the buyer to the seller, we change those spots so it's signed by the seller to the buyer. Because then what happens is, by law, that buyer's agent must present that offer to their buyer, and now the buyer can accept the offer, which is great, or they can reject the offer. If they do, you're back to where you started, you're not out anything, or they can counter offer. And if they would counter offer, now you have a conversation developing and you can work towards getting that property sold. So the reverse offer is a phenomenal tool because it puts some of that control back in the seller's hands, and you're not just passively waiting for things to happen. It's too tough of a real estate market to just throw the sign in the yard and wait for the home to sell. A reverse offer is an awesome tool. I'd highly recommend it. If you have more questions about it, or you want to advise somebody else to do a reverse offer, I'd be more than happy to talk to them about it. Whether they have an agent or they don't have an agent, it's a good tool. So hope this helps, and if I can be of any further service, let me know. I'm never too busy for your referrals. Thank you.